Okay, guys. Well, hello. This is Fer Juaristi from Mexico. Uh, I feel like in the twilight zone because I cannot see or hear anybody. So it's like a broadcast with a freaking Mexican with a crazy bad English. So let's see if we can learn something here. Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk about how I see things and how my career has gone through following my passion and my roots and hopefully you can see that anybody can do it, that you don't have to be touched by God or something. It's all about working hard and trying to learn from the best and always be humble and listen a lot to the guys who have been here before than us, and also getting inspiration from other places that's not only wedding photography. So I'm gonna say bye right now so we can see my screen. Okay. Boop. Okay, guys. So since I started shooting weddings, this has been my mantra or my way of thinking. I always want to be not the same guy as my neighbor or the same photographer as the other guys. I'm always trying to do what's unexpected, and and from there, my business has been great. So far, I have been doing this for almost 8 years, and so far so good. This is my only job. I don't have, I don't work at Blockbuster or as a doctor or as an engineer. No, I work out of a camera, of that magic black box that everybody loves when we grab it. Sorry, it says calendar ready. Okay, and I never expected to be able to live out of that. Um, and my wife, her name's Sisi. She she told me, hey, like, I think you really can do it. So I just went and left my advertising career and started shooting weddings right away. Well, before that, I was doing sweet 16s and baptisms and birthday parties, everything. I was shooting anything that walked or moved. That was my subject to be shooting. And then a good friend of mine, he says, "Hey, I'm gonna get married. Uh, shoot my wedding," and I said, "Yeah, let's go for it." And since that moment, I went crazy and I started to educate myself in this business. And so far, so good. I have met a lot of my mentors now, and I can consider them my friends. And the adventure has begun. And hopefully, and thank to God, my career can go a few years more. So, but at the beginning, everybody's a bit afraid, right? We quit our job, and then we say, now what? So for me, this is my evolution. My first year, I was shooting 10 out of 10 images, were only to please my client. I was afraid to give my approach to weddings because I didn't knew what to do. I was just imitating the rest of the industry, and not the good industry, the local industry. The posy, the looking at the camera, the everything so fake. And I just got bored. After shooting for a year, I say, I think weddings are not for me. And on my second year, my wife, again, she's my boss and she's my inspiration. And she told me, hey, let's try to do this. Let's mix it a little bit. So on my second year, I started shooting the same 10 images, but this time I only show those 2. So it was 8 for my client and 2 crazy ones for me. And those 2 represented my style. So it took another year to develop all the trust that I needed to go crazy and mix it. So now every time I go and shoot a wedding, it's the opposite. I'm gonna try to create 8 images for me that represent their emotion, their wedding day, but through my vision, and then 2 images to please my client. That's what's supposed to happen. But not every single time that stuff happens, you know. Sometimes you arrive and then, hey, bridezillas, so you have to please them, right? So it's all about theory, and it's all about trying to educate our clients so they know what to expect when we're shooting their weddings. When wedding photographers have problems, it's because we're not communicating correctly to our couples. We have to say, hey guys, we do this. We don't shoot like this. That's the hard part at the beginning. Just trying to say no to a few couples that are not a good match for our style, and inviting them to choose another photographer, you know, and give them a list. Like, hey, I know you're trying to look for a more classic vision. So here are these 2 other guys or girls who are awesome shooting classical portraits, you know. So try to be honest since the beginning. I know we have to pay the rent. I know we have, at least in my case, I have 2 kids, beautiful kids. So that's the main problem. Trying to be honest since the beginning, and after that, being honest all year long, because everybody has different purposes in life, and for my wife and me, it's not all about having tons of freaking money. It's all about having enough to have a good life, to spend time with our family and kids, and just having the opportunity to live out of your passion. And so you have to know what's the definition of success for you. And I'm going to show you mine. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how I do things, how I think, and how I feel. So this is not the right way of doing things, guys. This is only my way, the Mexican way, the Mexican monkey way. Okay, I'm called the Mexican monkey. That's my go-to name. Okay, so you can call me like that. You can call me that. So it's hard to know how you see things and how you feel, because sometimes photography can be super new to us, and we only imitate every other photographer we see out there. So we're going to try to dig deeper and to find our voice. So for me, the definition of success, it's try just to suck less. Try to do better images than yesterday, you know, and that's the hardest part. Every time you grab your camera, there's a big chance that you're gonna fail, that you're not gonna create a spectacular shot, you know. There's only a few gods of photography out there, you know, but every photographer has their own how to say periods or stages. So you don't have to rush in. You have to know what you like, and you have to know what you hate. And after doing that, like for me, every week I have a folder that's called inspiration, and I'm just start throwing stuff out there, like movie stills. It's like my clipboard. And when I have all these images that I like and the other ones I don't like, I start to analyze them to see if I like, I don't know, the depth, the the lens they're using, has how joyful, or only a small single smile can tell the same. So you have to see what you feel, and that's the hard part, you know. That's the question that we have to ask every single day, every single click. What am I feeling with this image? We have composition, we have lighting, we have moments, all that stuff, but what's making me feel, and what's making feel to my couple? You know, we need an audience to survive. So we need, in my case, I know I need 12 crazy couples per year to survive. So if we do the math, I don't think it's crazy enough to get 12 couples to trust me. and that's the fun part for me. Every year I'm in the adventure on the hunt to find 12 awesome couples. And thank God every year I have done more than 12, you know, but I know my numbers. So I know a lot of photographers, they're not very like business oriented, and I'm not like that. I suck at numbers, but you have to know your number. How many weddings or how many sessions do you need to survive, to provide for your family? So for me, my magic numbers, it's 12. And I go like crazy to hunt them. And after that, I can play with my numbers so I can shoot more interesting weddings as well. Okay? So, I'm going. So we can go to the extremes. We can do like the emotion of a real family having a great moment and being proud of their bride, of their daughter, sorry, getting married, you know, being in their face with your 35mm lens right there. Or you can be a little bit far away trying to find, oh, sorry guys, sorry. I'm having, okay, Mavericks is changing my software. Or you can be like this. You can try to find a good composition and just make them have an intimate moment, something more personal, something more relaxed, and that way both images for me make me feel. But you have to have that feeling. You know, not every images have to be extremes, and for me that's the adventure of a wedding photographer, that we can play with all the palettes of all the emotions, all the characters we have on a wedding day. Okay, it's about the couple, yes, I know, but what else is happening around there? Okay, so I don't know if you have in the US, in Russia, or wherever you are. Here I have my Mexican elf, and this crazy motherfucker, it's a little monkey that appears every time I grab my camera. It poofs like devil and the angel. Poof, it appears right here, and he starts talking to me, and he say, "Hey, you freaking motherfucker monkey! Don't grab your camera because you're gonna fail. You have done your best work. It's already done." So every single time I'm cleaning my lenses and I'm preparing my compact flash cards to shoot a wedding or a session, I don't want to do it. I'm about to quit. I'm like, no, I'm gonna call the couple and say, "Hey guys, sorry, I'm sick. You know, I don't want to be in your wedding because I know I'm not gonna surpass your expectations." And for me, that's my beast to punch or to defeat every single time. Um, it's one of the emotions or the like the butterflies in your belly that I feel, but for me it's more than that. So every time I grab my camera, it's time to kill that freaking Mexican elf. So that's what happens when you're Mexican and grab your camera. So now, guys, what we do is very important. For me, I call it the visual heritage, because that's what we do. We create memories. We create instances that are going to be remembered forever. And most of the time for people that are not even born yet. We're taking pictures for their kids, and most of the time they're not even alive right now. So our job it's more than taking pictures. It's telling the stories of new families. So we have to really take the importance of what we're doing, so they can really respect our jobs. And I know a lot of couples, they want the table by tables and they want all that, and it's okay to do it, but we really have to say, guys, hey, I'm here to tell your story, to remember your awesome freaking day, and let's work together, because that's the only way that we're going to have the freedom to shoot and create awesome imagery. So, and for me, like, one of the most important days of my life is when my kids were born, and I was able to document their lives as well. The entire day when my wife was having the first pain in her belly and stuff, I was there. I was there with my camera. For me, that's the important things of life. If I have Alzheimer tomorrow, I'm gonna have that image. I really want to have that image to represent what I love the most. So a lot of photographers as well are very aware on their wedding day of being in front of the couples, or blocking the view of the guests. And that's always on my mind. If every guest has Alzheimer the day after the wedding, I don't care. I'm going to have that image. Okay? So always, guys, don't worry about blocking them. It's our job to document the day so everybody can remember it forever. Okay? Don't be just like in the corner, just hiding between the trees and stuff. No, go up front and document the day where you're supposed to be. Okay? So for us, wedding photographers, the only difference that separates us is how we see the world, how we see things, and that doesn't have a price. We cannot play the price game. You have to know what's your worth, and stick to it. But if you are charging 3 times the more as another guy, and the couples, they don't see the difference of styles, you have to work harder, because if not, people are not going to book you. So that's a cool thing. You have to really dig how you see things, believe in them, and try to become a master of it. You don't have to imitate anybody. You just have to find your own way of seeing things and really enjoying it. Okay? And for us, as wedding photographers, we live out of cliches. Everything's the kiss, everything's about the rings, everything's about the tears. Yes, we know all about that. If you go to one wedding, you have seen all the freaking weddings in the world, right? The important thing is how you capture it, where you position on the correct moments, and stick to that moment. Sorry. Most of the time, for capturing one image, on a wedding day, I usually shoot around 6,000 images. I'm stubborn because I don't know which ones I'm gonna like the most. But I'm gonna choose my angle. So for example, in this image, they know I'm there. I shoot with my 35 lens most of the day, and I'm close to people. So imagine, like, to capture this image, I shot like 50 pictures, and sometimes the veil was covering the guy's head, and sometimes I only saw one eye, or sometimes I saw two eyes, and sometimes the emotion of the bride wasn't there. You know, it's all about being stubborn and trying to make each click better than the last one. Okay, so with all the cliches, we can play. For example, this image. Yeah, we have the bouquets. Yeah, we're gonna throw the bouquets. Okay, and then we have the bridesmaids. Yeah, we have bridesmaids. But hey, okay, we have the bridesmaids. We have the bouquets, and then we have this beautiful landscape. But there's a lot of crap in that composition. So that's why when we go low and we leave a lot of negative space up, we can clean everything. If I shoot in a normal angle, I'm going to see the cars, I'm going to see people walking, I'm going to see a lot of distractions. So for me, it's all about choosing what I want to show, and it's trying to hide the places that I'm shooting. You know, I don't care about the Eiffel Tower. I don't care about the Empire State Building. You know, for me, it's all about people in cool places, and I don't care if it's a ranch or if it's a city. I'm gonna try to find my own point of view to create unique images. And for me, this one, I love this image because I have a lot of cliches, and then we have the bride as a freaking diva, just chilling out there and saying "ooh la la," I enjoy life, and I'm just like a statue, you know, like a David, but a female David, a Davida, and she's part of this of these elements of these trees, you know, how she's in one of the spots where there's more light, you know. So all the times you see an image or to create an image, try to squint your eyes, and the attention's gonna be to the white spot or to the brightest spot. So that's why she's positioned right there, closest to the tree with where the most light is. Okay, it's photography for me. You can be a documentary photographer, or you can be more like a interpreter. And for me, photography, it's more about interpretation. I'm a storyteller, yes, because I shoot weddings, but the fun part for me, it's creating this kind of images that go beyond a wedding. You know, that you can frame on your wall, and they say, yes, it's a beautiful image. I don't care if it's a wedding image or if it's a portrait or anything, but it's a beautiful image. It's a composition with elements and that makes you feel. Okay, and talking about cliches as well, we can see this image, and it's the same. You can see the bride, you can see the groom, and then there's the ghost of, I don't know, the Holy Spirit or something in the middle, you know. But it's all about these small concepts that makes my job fun. If I lost all the fun in the world of shooting weddings, I'm going to stop shooting weddings. So every time you grab your camera, try to find a way of having fun and going crazy in that direction. Because if not, you're going to get burnout so freaking easily that you're going to stop shooting weddings and just going to shoot dogs or, I don't know, cats or something like that, guys. Okay? So I know that the easiest way to show emotion, it's with a kiss, right? That's how love is. But yeah, like there can be subtleties in every emotion, as we were speaking earlier, as I was speaking earlier. Sorry. So I don't know. Like, remember how you grab, I don't know, the hair of your loved one. You know, how you see her, how you walk together, or how you saw it for the first time. You know, it's not all about showing what the movies tell us love is. You know, you have to find your own version of love, and try to see if the couple dig those ideas. You know, um, like this image we found. That's El Santo from Mexico. We found that painting was right there on the venue, and you can see the hands of Aniela. She was my second shooter in that wedding, and I love living stuff like that, you know, because it it's a composition again. It's not only a portrait, a super close up of beautiful people. No, we're adding an emotion with them, just having a good time. You know how I make my couples laugh? Most of the time I tell them, "Hey guys, look at my penis," and then that magic happens. Yeah, my penis have a powerful effects on people, you know. Um, and then you have the El Santo, and then you have the greenery on the background. You know, so it's more a composition. It's not only wedding photography, and that's the fun part for me. Uh, we have to really try to find the definitions of these three words and try to mix them together and create our own versions. You know, some images it's all about beauty. You know, like a female portrait, and then we can create art out of beauty, and then we can add love. So it's a triangle. It's not only about love, or it's not only about art or beauty. We can mix them in different percentage each time, so we can make different emotions to each people. And the good thing about our being a wedding photographer, and everybody's worried about every day there's 10,000 new wedding photographers out there. For me, that's okay, because years ago I was one of them. Pay our price, and they're going to trust us. It's not about the biggest camera, it's not about the longest lens, it's about making images universal, that they feel, and you're proud of them. I'm very selfish with my work. For me, I have to love my work first and the couple. You know, so how I sell my work, it's through my blog, and that's why I only show 20 to 30 pictures per wedding, because I really want to connect with those crazy ones who, if they see 20 images from an entire wedding, a 12-hour wedding day, and they say, yes, I can see a story on each image. I can feel the emotion of this couple. I can feel the place. I can smell the roses and stuff. You know, when with those couples, they know why they are booking you. You know, so you have to really be sure how are you selling your stuff. And for me, it's showing less and making the imagination flow, and after that, just being a good person on Skype or email or anything. You know, it's easier than everybody thinks, but you have to really try to make unique images for you, and then trying to find those couples that really understand you. Okay, so let's keep this webinar on the road. So how I sell my work, it's as simple as this, guys. Um, they see my work, they send me an email, and one of the phrases that I use, it's, for me, your wedding is an experiment. Does it excite you or does it scares you? And like, I don't know, like 90% they're gonna be afraid and they're gonna just beep 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 hang the phone, and I'm okay with it. You know, that's the cool part. And the other 10% that are gonna get excited about it, I know for sure that we're a good match. You know, most of my clients are creatives, and not only on their profession, you know, but they have a good taste, and they give me the freedom that I want, and that's cool. A lot of my couples are from America or Canada that fly to Mexico and get married in beautiful places like Tulum or Cancun or Puerto Vallarta, and if you're doing your wedding on the beach, it means that you're chill out, that you're gonna be relaxed, and that's a cool filter to have. And yeah, guys, that's my selling process. I just tell them, hey guys, for me it's an experiment. We're gonna create together and we're gonna make magic together. And once they stay, we have a lot of fun. And so far in 8 years, I have had awesome clients that really trust in me, and thank God I'm still here. So what do I look for an image? For me, it's all about trying to find beautiful light, and sometimes beautiful light can be hard light. A lot of wedding photographers hate hard light, but I really love it. Compositions. Compositions for me are a must. You know, I like to see my couples as a dot or as a line, and try to see where can I put them inside my frame so they're gonna look awesome. And then I'm gonna try to capture a moment. In portraits, most of the time I'm gonna try to generate them. I'm gonna talk to them. Every time I'm shooting every time I'm shooting, I'm talking with them. So if this is, let me grab one camera. I don't know. Well, if I'm shooting a wedding, a portrait, and I'm here and I'm like, yeah, let's do this, ha ha ha, ooh la la la, boom boom boom. But I'm shooting and talking. A lot of photographers, what they do, they leave their camera, they direct, they do, yeah, ooh la la, do this, do this, do that, perfect, don't move, and then, crack. And for me, most of the time, it's the in-betweens. So if I'm shooting and talking, but I'm always shooting, I'm gonna capture more natural poses for them, and I'm gonna see their souls, and I'm gonna see their real emotions. Yeah. So try to direct and shoot at the same time instead of leaving your camera on your shoulder. Okay, that works for me. So having all these elements, the light, the composition, the moments, and the concepts, I see images like this. My images are a puzzle. Some images are going to have more moments than concepts, and sometimes the lighting is going to be missing. The light, sorry. So that's what moves me. That's the rush, because you take a lot of pictures and yes, like you say, I'm missing my composition, but I have all these three elements. Okay, I can live with that. Or sometimes you have a cool composition with a cool moment, but no concept or no light. So it's like, oh, almost there, you know. So sometimes like the gods of photography or something help you out, and everything fits together, and that's when magic happens. But sometimes it's not like that, so you have to work harder. So I'm always trying to find, sorry, I'm always trying to clean my space, you know. I try to play with few elements most of the time, so you can have an easy read on your on each photography, you know. It's usually the 1, 2, 3 for me. So it's 1, it's the couple, 2, it's the sky, and 3, it's another element that's around there. Like in this case, the pines on the corner. But sometimes it's only 2 or 1. Like this image, it's only 2 dudes. We were trying to do a day after session, and they wanted to have a lot of sky, you know, the blue sky, beautiful blue sky, everything beautiful, with everything looked beautiful in blue and green, right? But now, not this day. So it was an overcast day, and everybody was like, "Uh-oh, now what we're gonna do?" So for me, when I see white, it's a white canvas. So I love that stuff, you know. White canvas for me, it's a way to play and just to have fun. So we went inside a pool, and I was with them together, like shooting with a 50 mil there. So we tried not to move, so the water hasn't had enough ripples, and we say, hey, just look at each other, and then look there and look over there. And I love separating my couples, because that way they can have personality, and you can know that they're having individuality as well. You know, yeah, we're in love and we love each other, and we want to be together the rest of our lives, but I'm independent as well. So most of the time I separate my couples, just to make them feel awkward, and I love seeing their reactions. Or an image like this as well. For me, every time I see lines and shapes and colors, I start with my composition. So on this image, the idea, I had the framing, so it was like the beautiful colors there, and I didn't have the couple. And you can see on the bride's head that the light's coming from the top part. Okay, so I post the groom. I say, hey, you go over there, and he was just there doing nothing. And then since the light was coming from top, I said to the bride, okay, you're gonna do this crazy stuff. You're gonna just be looking up, and you're gonna be walking from right to left and laughing like a crazy person. That's a tip that a good friend DJ told me. So she was just like, ha 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 ha. And when you're taking those images, it's crazy. You don't feel natural. You feel awkward. Everybody feels awkward, you know. But that's the fun part. The magic of photography is that you have to be a clown and be okay of being a clown and forget that uncomfortable feeling, because the final result it's what counts. Okay, it's the process. It's a joke. You have to embrace it, and after that, you're gonna see the final result, and you're gonna say, okay, it's good to be a clown and just have fun. It's not. I don't want to be. When I was starting my first years as wedding photographer, I wanted to look super professional, you know. So I was like, yeah, with a suit and big super cameras and the flash brackets and like a big case and everything. I wanted to look like I'm worth every penny, right? And now I don't want to look like that. If they say, hey, that's your professional photographer, I prefer to be that guy, you know. I want to be like the underdog, because that way my work is gonna speak for me. I don't want to be that guy, you know. I'm not a model. I don't want to be like, yeah, this is the cool dude. Nah, fuck that. You have to. For me, it's all about being a guy with a camera. I don't care if they say that's the professional. If they say that's a freaking dude, I prefer that, you know. And that way your work is gonna be powerful enough to explode their freaking heads when they see the final images. Okay, so I'm always trying to find abstractions in things. Like for example, this image that you see, shooting through things and just waiting for the moment. Like I shot like, I don't know, like 70 images, because I didn't pose that bright. I say, okay, stand here and start spinning like crazy, and that was my direction, spin like crazy. So she was turning one side to the other, and she was just like, she was about to throw up, I think, guys. But I was waiting for the three freaking seagulls to come there and make the perfect balance, you know. So it's simple things like that. Just trying to wait a little bit longer than you wanna wait makes all the freaking difference. And as abstractions as a reflection as well, it looks great, you know, but it's simple reflection. But as a photographer, we have to have that sensibility of changing our surroundings. You know, the camera doesn't have the same sensibility as our eyes, so we have to know when to get the background blurry, when to underexpose, when to overexpose, and that's the magic about what we do, guys. Or stuff like this that I don't see their heads, but I know they're there, you know? And I was throwing their freaking tie just like crazy, woo, just playing with them, and they were like, what the fuck's happening here? And they say, just don't smile, guys, just don't smile, you know? I just wanted to capture something that I haven't seen before in a wedding image. You know, and that's the fun part. Exploding a lot of elements. I love seeing paintings. I love seeing fashion photography, stuff that's not all about weddings and all about love, and trying to embrace it into my own work. I do a lot of this. I tend to underexpose my images, so that way I can. Shadows for me are mystery, and mystery is freaking awesome because you can hide you can hide the place that you're shooting. Like this image, it was in Brazil. A good friend, a photographer, and all those little things are candles. And I grab a chair, and I was on top of them, and those guys are lit with a spotlight that was there. You know, this was the main entrance of the wedding, but you don't see it because it's underexposed. So that's the fun part, guys. We have to play with the limitations of our cameras, okay? Or this image as well. You know, the part from the left part of the image, it's a reflection. So I exposed for the dress, and everything else, boom, just disappeared. You know, because the camera doesn't have the potential as our eye. So on the back of the bride, you could see there were people walking, there were the restrooms, but I knew that if I underexpose, everything was just going to be pitch black. So that's what I love about photography. It's all this freaking chemistry and all these elements that you don't know what you're gonna get, but you have to know your limitations, and that's when magic happens for me. Also, for me, it's more important the emotion or the feeling instead of the looks. So it's all about. I don't show a lot of how you say, like I prefer to not show. To make it more an interpretation, like example, this image, you don't see her face, sorry, but you can feel her. You can see what she's feeling, what she's about to leave, right? And that's the mystery that I love to explain in my images, or an image like this as well. You know, those guys are just having a moment, a bliss. You know, they're together, but they're not touching themselves. You know, they're not hugging, and they're not like, yeah, my love. Sometimes wedding photography can be a little bit too romantic, but like a corny romantic, and I hate that shit. So I try to remove myself uh, the most as I can, and most of the couples that they hire me are like that. They're not kissy, posy couples. And so our portfolio, it's gonna attract those ones. Imagine that you are I don't know, an eagle. You know, if I am an eagle, I'm gonna be like okay. And if I make that call, who's gonna answer me? It's not gonna be a squirrel or a dragon. You know, it's gonna be another freaking eagle. And I wanna attract only the eagles. So my goal for me, it's to my job. It's not to make everybody happy. I wanna only make the eagles happy. So I'm gonna have hopefully enough weddings to shoot every year. Okay, so just be sure what kind of eagle or bird you want to attract, and your portfolio is gonna be the filter that's gonna move you in that direction. Okay, or an image like this. You know, this was shot on film, and she is a ballerina. You know, so, and you cannot see her face, but this image represents who she is. You know, and any bride that loves dancing and is gonna get married, it's gonna feel connected with this image. You know, that's trying to create universal images. It's a fun and a hard thing to do. But that's a cool thing about our job. We can get out of our comfort zone and try to become artists for a day, you know, while we're shooting. We always have to be where we don't supposed to be, guys. So, sorry, I hate this stuff, guys. So I'm always trying to be thinking as my kids. Okay, I know that I don't have to be here, so I have to be here. Okay, so like I remember these kids a lot because the priest was a pain in the ass. He was super strict, and these kids, they say, I don't care. I just want to be with my uncles, you know, having fun and making them funny noises and funny faces. And I remember this image a lot. And after that, I'm always trying to think and feel like a kid, you know, like for example, this image, you know, you don't supposed to be there. You don't supposed to be where the bride's eating and having a quick meal and the groom is just with her, you know. But it's an interesting image, you know. It's an offbeat image, but it's the same. It's telling the story. It's not telling the story, a normal story, you know, or like the magazine story. But for me and for them, this picture represents a lot, you know, because it's the small things in life that really makes the difference for me. Or sometimes when they just say, hey, let's get out of the room, just keep shooting, guys, you know. And this image for me and the bride, it's a beautiful image. And for the groom, he thanked me and gave me a big tip for this image. Okay, guys. So I don't like my couples looking in the camera because I think, or they feel like a threesome. For me, portraits or images are more for them, you know, showing emotion or showing affection with them. It's not about the camera, guys. I don't want to say, hey, I look so beautiful, so I have to turn and look at the camera. Ooh la la. No, come on. It's I look beautiful because of this person who's looking more beautiful than me, and I want to make him feel special. And that's what I'm trying to always connect, guys. I repeat this image. Sorry for that, guys. One tip, as a technical tip, guys, I always shoot on black and white. I shoot everything on RAW, but everything is on black and white. So for me, it's all about simplification. For me, color is a distraction. I just go crazy when I shoot and my white balance is off, and my exposure and everything. I just wanna try to not think that much. So you can customize your camera, so you can shoot in black and white all day long, and it looks more interesting. I don't know why, and for me it's easier to see my shadows and my shapes, and the contrast between dark and light. So if you haven't tried it, try it one day, and you can see, I don't know, a different vibe, and you can even see something as boring as I don't know, a computer in black and white. It can look interesting. So I don't know how to see color while I'm shooting. Everything's in black and white for me, guys. And if you try it and you like it, please let me know. Okay? So I'm always trying to do this, trying to find ordinary places and make them look extraordinary. That's my goal in life, and that's fun for me as well. And it's super simple, you know. You can show the obvious, or you can say, okay, if I show this perspective and I get low and I get high, I can get beautiful places out of nowhere. Like sample of this image, you know, like a tree just cut in half or more than half, and you say, just, hey guys, just stand there, guys. And for me it looks cool, you know. But it's something that if you live there and you see a tree, you're not gonna see like something majestic, you know. It's gonna be like, yes, another tree, I don't care, you know. We have to remember how to get emotion again, you know, how to get amazed by life, or by simple things, and that's the fun part. It's all about fun for me. or like an image like this. It's my good friend Walter. Sorry, and this was taken in Amsterdam. So this is a museum. It looks like a freaking Star Wars. I don't know, like something about Star Wars, you know. And I remember that this is a very touristy place. It's a museum, and there's a lot of people walking like all day long there. So I really loved, this little corner of light, but it was high enough. You needed to be like a giant to be there. So we found these two chairs. So they were standing on the chairs. So that way people were walking, while we're taking this picture, and we didn't care. You know, it's all about removing all the shit from your pictures and try to make it look unique, intimate, and personal everywhere you are. Okay, it's possible. You just have to learn how to see things and just enjoy it. You know, like for me, the master of this kind of images, it's, I don't know, like Ben Chrisman. He's like a freaking dude who creates magic out of nowhere with his reflections and stuff. And it's like, motherfucker, how you do that shit? You know, and he knows it awesomely. You know, and you have to find your own way of discovering the world that you're used to and try to make it look interesting. Okay, or an image like this, you know, it's if I tell you, hey, yeah, it's a wall, it's a dirty wall with a dirty dog and a bride walking, you can say, yeah, whatever. But then how you take it and how the empathy of the movements of the bride and the dog are the same. You know, now it changes the emotion or the feeling that you can feel, you know. And this is the first image that I have in my portfolio. If you are a Barbie bride and you see this image, you're gonna hate me forever. You're gonna say like, this guy's freaking crazy. He's smoking crack or pot or whatever, no? But those are the filters that we really have to take care of, guys. If we show our first 10 images in our portfolio, have to be strong enough to scare a lot of brides. And the good ones are going to stick with them, and they're going to call us and they're going to book us. But if we are doing the same stuff as all the other wedding photographers, we're going to have a hard time booking weddings. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk to you guys, it's about showing context, because sometimes I see a lot of photography out there with long lenses, and it seems that nothing's happening around them. So showing what's around the couple and what's happening, it's very important, at least in the moment. For example, this image, most of the a lot of photographers, what I have seen, is like they do a close-up of the dress and they do a close-up of the bride, and they put them side by side, and that's their story. So on your next wedding, try to do that, guys. Try to see, how can I tell more than one story on this image? Okay, and when you're starting to see the world in that direction, you're gonna have a lot of fun, because you're gonna play with layers, and you're gonna wait, and you're gonna see in a more three-dimensional way, and that's the fun part. Fun part, it's my word of the day. Well, that stuff. So always remember, guys, open the doors that you're not supposed to open, and stick to them. It's always interesting to see who's gonna shout at you, or who's gonna say, hey, don't do that, or don't do this, but just go and do it. I don't care about it. Or an image like this, like you can see the bride and groom, the bride and the father of the bride are walking through the aisle, and all the anticipations there. You can see where the wedding was, you can see the time of the day it was, you know, and it's for me, this image represents their ceremony. You know, if I only have one image of the ceremony, it will be this one, because everything's there, you know. So when we try to see things in more than one dimension, it's going to be easier for couples to understand how we see things. Also, guys, don't be afraid of cropping in camera. For me, doing the crazy crops, it's one of the fun and most interesting parts of the day. It's not because they're ugly. No, it's not like that. Believe me, guys. But it's only to make emphasis on where you want them to see. You know, like an image like this. You know, like framing them inside a fence, and then only showing their emotions. You know, I don't want to see too much. I want my images to make you feel and make you think at the same time. And thank God, I think it has happened more than once, and it's working so far. Or this image as well. You know, you don't have to see everything. All the emotions in their hands, and they're together, and they're having a freaking awesome time, and that represents everything for me. Okay, so just to do a small resume, I dare you guys to square up, and square up, what it means, it's if you see it in my computer, you can see my funky face, right? Yes. So squaring up is trying to be straight to your couple or to your action, you know. A lot of guys, they do the 45-degree, you know, and that's okay, you know, if you like it. But on your next event or session, try to be in front of the actions. Try to be with your horizons. Try to make it look like this, not like this. Okay. Hopefully it's gonna work for you guys, and just simplifies everything. It's thinking as an architect, that your lines are gonna be where they're supposed to be. Okay, don't make them wonky. Try to make them just zoom direct, and it simplifies everything. Always be aware of your background. There's a lot of beautiful images out there, and then you can see like a Volkswagen parked there. It's like, ooh, dude, like those are the details that counts. Watch everything, guys. The background, even if it's out of focus, it's as important as your foreground. Also, on your next wedding or session, guys, every single time you choose your angle, wait 3 freaking minutes there. Okay? Grab your camera, put your timer, and stay there. Imagine that you're shooting with a tripod. Okay? So that way you're gonna push yourself to don't be running like a chicken without a head. Okay? Just stick to one place and wait 3 moments to see what the magic is gonna happen. Okay? And try to tell more than one story per image. And that way I think we have more potential of doing more interesting images, guys. And always you have to compromise to your vision. There's always more than one action happening. There's always more than one point of view that you have to choose. But it's very important to choose one angle and say, okay, I'm gonna risk it. Should I do the far away angle and wait for the keys, or should I be super close up and just do the isolation of them? You know, it's all about choices, and for me, that's the fun part. Yeah, choosing where you have to be, and on a wedding day, you know what's going to happen in advance. So I hate this guy, this Uncle Bob shooting here, but whatever. On a ceremony, I don't know if it's gonna last 40 minutes. Try to find the cool places that's gonna be. You know, try to find 3 or 4 angles, and when the important stuff is about to happen, go back to your spots, okay, to your tramps, and wait there until that moment happens. When you start risking the important part of the wedding day with your cool compositions, magic's gonna happen in front of your eyes, guys. So please, guys, just go crazy. It's all about having fun. It's all about risking. I rarely have a second shooter, so I risk a lot. If you have a second shooter, risk even more, guys, because you are allowed to do it. If we do the normal stuff, watch out. It's gonna get boring pretty easily, and we just go crazy. Please defeat your Mexican elf or your elfish elf or your, I don't know, any nationality that you are, and I wish everybody a awesome freaking 2014. And I think we're gonna go to Q&As, right? Right? Yes. Okay. Let's see what's next, guys. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see. I'm gonna open the questions here. Whoa. Holy. Okay. So let's start here. Where do your creativity comes from? Drugs, rock and roll, and sex. No, I usually try to get my inspiration from movies. Every time I'm editing a wedding, I'm seeing a movie on a second screen on mute, and I'm trying to get that like a orange clockwise. All the information's coming through my eyes. And I love seeing art movies and just in cinema. What I love it's that everything it's justified. You know, sorry. Everything is justified, and sometimes in wedding photography it's not. Wedding photography it's sometimes just to make things look cool. And in wedding photography you have the cinematographer, you have the lighting guy, you have the director, you have the actors. So for me, movies are my main creativity and inspiration database, because those guys are masters for me. Okay, how stay despite all your previous work? This is a crazy question, because really you never know if you're gonna make it. If you're doing something that you have done already, or if something's original, so you just have to trust your gut and Usually when I'm shooting a wedding, I try to not see wedding photography for at least 1 week, and I try to go to the museums, to see art galleries, to see a lot of fashion photography or art. Or like I love seeing, like I have this Elliot Erwitt stuff, Tim Walker, Rodney Smith. Those guys for me are the real masters, and I love seeing their stuff. Okay, what else? How do you do on the couples choose location for? Whoa, this is a long question. Shoot, sorry guys. I'm a newbie at webinars. Yeah, for choosing locations, I rarely do scouting, so I just prefer to say, hey guys, come over here, and we rent a car or we just walk and try to find cool spots around the places that we are. If I'm in a fancy hotel, I usually get out there. I don't like shooting in fancy places. I try to take the emergency exit and just enjoy what's around us. Okay. How to say, if you realize a couple doesn't fit your style, how to say no for them? I just tell them the truth. Hey guys, I say, I think you're looking for a more classic photographer, sorry. And here's a list of photographers that I recommend. You know, you have to be honest. If I see red flags that one of them is gonna be like a real pain in the ass, and they're seeing a lot of details, and they say this is my profile and stuff like that, yeah, I send them to another photographer because I don't want to have problems. I really don't sell beauty as a normal way of as a normal beauty, you know, like a Barbie beauty. So I try to detect that, and you just have to be honest. You know, it's I don't match. Just to tell you, I have received this year in total like 400 inquiries, and I'm gonna, so far next year I'm shooting 16 weddings. So do the math, and you can see that not all the couples are right for me. Okay. Do you have a fixed focal to attend your clients? No, I work everything online. I don't have a local. I rarely shoot weddings in where I live. I mainly travel to shoot my weddings, and I really enjoy it. Okay. What else? What else? I know you like movie love. My favorite director of photography. I loved Conrad Hall. Conrad Hall. Yeah, that guy. His last movie was Road to Perdition. That guy. He has an awesome freaking history. I also love Nestor Almendros. He's from past generations as well. In Mexico, we have awesome directors of photography like Emmanuel Lubezki. He has been nominated like 5 times for the Oscars, and I love that guy. And Matthew Lavatique as well. I love that guy. So yeah, I love a lot of DPs. Most of the time, I go to the movies depending on the cinematographer, and that's how I see things. I wanted to become a cinematographer, but it didn't happen. Okay. Who will I choose to shoot my wedding if I was to shoot my wedding? Huh. Yeah, well, I love a lot of guys out there. But yeah, one of my favorites, and they're good friends, are Nordica, based in Stockholm, I think, right now. Yeah, I love those guys' style. I love Nirav Patel. I love Jeff Newsom's. I love Sam Hurd. Yeah, I love a lot of guys. I love Ryan Muirhead. He doesn't shoot weddings, but his stuff, it's freaking beautiful. If you haven't seen his work, check it out. What's the most important factor for you when the camera is in your hands? For me, it's isolation. What it means is like any place that you are, you learn how to see it with fresh eyes. For me, that's one of the most important things. You know, I'm always trying to hide things, try to make it an easy reading, and then try to get the confidence of my couple that we're gonna make awesome images together. That's the most two important things for me. Yeah, in the technical side, I'm not an expert. You know, I fumble a lot. I'm like, oh, what's happening here and stuff. You know, so I use my hand a lot to expose. So every time I'm shooting, I just take one picture of my hand. If I see detail in my hand, I go crazy right there. Okay. What is the worst part of wedding photography? I think the business part of wedding photography can suck sometimes, because a lot of wedding photographers, we're not business guys. So sorry, answering emails and sending contracts and sending invoices and just getting everything on time. It's one of the things that you have to really take care of. But for me, it can be the worst part out of being a destination photographer. Sometimes getting sick. Like this weekend, I had a wedding and I had fever. I had an infection. I still have it, but so I went with a doctor, and at 11 p.m. with my good friend Ricardo from Real Love, and they they pinched me, and thank God I was okay. But yeah, it's hard to be always in right shape to shoot a wedding. So, but I don't hate anything. Like some wedding photographers, they hate family portraits. I really love them because they're freaking important. Okay. Saludos desde Colombia. Saludos, mi buen Julia. Give us some samples that you saw in movies and apply to wedding photography. If you see one movie that you have to see, it's Tree of Life. See how that movie tells a story and shows you emotions and makes you feel without even talking. See how the kids react when they're together and with their mother, and that's what I get most about cinematography. It's their compositions. They're just freaking beautiful, and that's how I get inspired. You know, it's nothing magical. It's just trying to see different things. That's not about wedding photography. Okay. I hate not being able to listen, but yeah, whatever. Feel like a crazy dude here. Do you work with a second photographer? No. Sometimes I work with second photographers, but they're usually friends who I invite, and we just have fun. And if someone comes with me, they have a mission, and they have to surprise me. That's their mission. I say, I don't want to see you. I just want you to go crazy, and you have to show me pictures that are gonna blow my mind. So if someone comes with me, they have to do better than me, and they have to risk even more than what I'm doing. I don't have the safe stuff. Okay. What fear do you have? Why cannot see the entire questions? Shit. Well, the fearless question, sometimes you just don't feel it. You wake up and you go safe. You go safe all day long. And the thing about try to become all the technical stuff has to be like muscle memory. You have to really try to learn it. So even if in the hardest days of your career, it comes natural to you. So, but yeah, sometimes I go to the safe one and I just keep it like that. I hate I cannot see the entire questions. Sorry about that, Nicolas. What cameras and lens do you use? So far I have an Nikon D3S with a 35 lens Sigma. It's the new Sigma, but I'm really loving that one. And I'm using the D700 with a 85 Sigma as well. And then I have a 50 mil as backup. And that's it. I don't have a lot of stuff. 2 cameras, 3 lenses, and that's it. Yeah, I'm funny. Okay, hopefully that's a good one. Okay, the geometry in my images. Just so you know, my first wow image was from a guy that's called Pete Turner, and he's a geometric crazy motherfucker, man. So when I saw his stuff, I say, yes, I want to be that guy, you know, applying to something else. But yeah, I'm obsessed with geometry. Why? I don't know. I think architects and God have created this beautiful place for us, and I just try to respect it and go in that direction. Yeah. Okay. How do you find those crazy great couples each year? I end up getting sweet couples, but they end up wanting safer coverage or imitating photos on Pinterest. Yeah, I know. I get those as well. At the end, believe me, if I'm only showing 30 images or 25 images on my blog, okay? And I'm shooting 6,000 images. And the slideshows are usually around 150 images. So I try to please everyone. But the thing is, when you get married and you book me, hopefully, hey, book me. The first thing you're gonna see, it's my blog post, okay? And then that blog post is gonna be there. You're only gonna see those 20 images for 1 week, okay? And then you have to wait 1 week to see the slideshow. So what I want them to do, it's embrace my vision of their wedding day. Yeah, and after that, yeah, they're gonna see the formals and they're gonna see the traditional stuff as well. But yeah, for me, it's very important for them to only see my favorite ones, so they can go crazy. And after that, we show everything else. Okay. What things inspires me? Well, just being alive. You know, that for me, that's inspiration. And movies and all those books that I have here, and it's I don't get a lot of inspiration from other wedding photographers. That's what I try to do. You know, I try to have a diet in wedding photography, and just see other things. You know, every time inspiration from me usually comes as well. The day before the wedding, I try to grab my camera, and on the destination that I go and shoot personal stuff, like the things that you can see on the background there. You know, like these fishermen and a freaking dog and kids playing and a cool sexy model. You know, for me that's inspiration. It doesn't come from the wedding day. It comes from inside and shooting personal projects or personal images, and then try to embrace them into their wedding day. Okay, let's see. Did you direct a lot of your photos by guiding your subjects? If so, did you direct without breaking? Well, for this question, usually I try to get inside their bubble, so to say, and But yeah, as I told earlier, I talk with them a lot, and I give them a lot of directions. And but a lot of times you just let things happen. You know, there's couples that they just fall in love, and they know how to touch and how to talk and react, and it's beautiful. But when they don't do that, imagine that you are like, I don't know, a lawyer, and I'm gonna say to the lawyer, hey guy, I don't know, whisper all the laws or shit like that in a sexy way, you know. And so I try to do the posing and the directing as personal as possible, so they feel more relaxed, and they feel more on their feet, and that way the image is gonna be more for them, and they're gonna remember the stupid things that I was saying, and they're gonna love that shit. Okay. If you shoot 6,000 images, how many did you give that will tell the story? Yes, as I told you, around 150 for the slideshow, and usually the proofing gallery is going to have around 600 to 800 images. Okay. How often do you change your place for shooting? Usually, when I post and I have one image, I'm gonna try to do the same as they do on the movies. They're gonna have an extreme close-up, they're gonna have a medium shot, and then they're gonna have a far away shot. So most of the time, for the same pose or the same action, I'm gonna have three dimensions, three distances with the same lens or with different lenses. But yeah, I usually have 3 sets of each image, because while I'm shooting, I don't know which one's going to be the best, and sometimes none is going to be the best. So I try to have 3 images, 3 distances, sorry, per image to play. See, I usually expose for the darkest, for the highlights, sorry, so I can recover the information. At least with Nikon cameras, you have a lot of range to recover from the shadows. Okay. Gracias. Thank you, Danny. Hopefully. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the pastor of the audience, I don't care. The pastor, I care. But you have to do it. It's all about the image. Remember the Alzheimer tip? If you don't have it, everyone's going to have Alzheimer tomorrow. So, but yeah, sometimes pastors can be, or priests can be difficult. And I try to respect as much as possible. And I risk when I think something interesting is going to happen. If not, I'm going to just be in a corner, try to be as close to my couple as possible, and shoot their emotions. But yeah, if the pastor or the priest told me, hey, get out of there, I'm going to do it. But for that, you can talk to your couple beforehand. Hey, do you know the pastor? Yes. Is he a good guy, or he has a lot of restrictions? No, he's a pain in the ass. Okay, but you have to rent 400 mil to shoot or something. But yeah, I'm always ask the couple the limitations of their ceremonies. That's crap. It was like spam or something. So this one, how did you market yourself in the beginnings? How did your first client recognize when you wanted your style? I found it very hard, difficult to get certain clients in the beginning with a low price point. Well, you have to shoot different to have different clients. If you're shooting the same stuff, you're gonna get stuck. And it's the crazy thing about wedding photography. It's like the clients that you're getting right now, it's gonna be a pattern. So you have to really take care of your actual clients. The first thing I did to advertise locally was I went to a wedding fair, and I get books a few sweet 16s and a few weddings there as well, and I was doing slideshows the same day of the wedding as well. While everybody was eating, I was working, always. And thank God, even if it's a crappy wedding, you never know who are the guests are gonna be. So sometimes I was doing like a small, low-budget wedding, and then a guest arrived, and I say, "Hey, I love the images. I'm getting married here and here and here," and it was a different budget. So yeah, we always think locally, but if we only think in our city, I think it's harder to separate yourself from the rest. So for me, it's always try to make a lot of connections everywhere. So if I have a hard time selling my work in Monterey, I can fly to a different place and shoot anywhere else. So yeah, try to not think locally, try to think nationally, and it hurts for me. I travel a lot. Like sometimes I travel more than half of the year. So yeah, you have to take sacrifices to get to different kinds of couples as well. What makes a good composition? It's images that makes you feel comfortable and safe. Composition-wise, there's a lot of theory. You can read it in a lot of books. But for me, a good composition it has balance. A good friend, Samuel Roban, he told us something like this. If you see an image, just put the finger in the middle and see if it goes in one direction or the other, and that plays with the composition and how are you balancing your images as well. Okay, but yeah, like I've tried to follow the rules, and then I try to apply my own rules, and then I try to apply painting rules inside photography, and then film rules inside photography, so I can mix it a little bit. If you are a portrait photographer, sometimes you can be a little bit square, so it's always good to try to mix it and find different rules and different schools of photography or different schools of visual arts, so you have more than one reference. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, I wanted to see if my microphone was on, and yeah, it's on. Okay. I'm in my first year, and I'm finding turn down pretty frustrating. Okay, well, yeah, you have to survive. You know, every photographer has a budget, has a style of living, so even if it's like that, you can learn to be an awesome classic photographer, work super fast, and then say, okay, guys, give me 5 minutes to create something personal, okay? And that way you can have both ways. And the good thing is, like, after you shoot everything, only show your stuff. You know, go crazy with your stuff. Don't show anything else. You know, give your clients everything in a hard drive, in a USB flash and everything, but you have to really take care of your blog posts or your blog or your Facebook. Only show what you want to keep shooting, okay? And if I may add another question, how do you find time for all these creative shots? Do you ask for... Usually couples on the wedding day, they give me between 20 to 45 minutes to shoot, and that's why I don't do a lot of scouting. I usually shoot around the wedding venue, just to try to shoot as much as I can and go crazy. Sometimes in Mexico we do the day after sessions, and we can play a little bit more. So we have usually an hour and a half to 2 hours to play, But yeah, after 2 hours, everybody's just like, oh, I'm so tired. So I like to work hard and I like to work fast, so nobody gets worried or gets sick about the images. Mm, this is the same question. How much time do you ask the couples for the portraits? I ask for an hour, but I rarely have an hour to shoot on their wedding day. If it's a special couple and the wedding day was complicated, or we didn't have enough light or we don't have cool light, I usually say, hey guys, are you willing to do a portrait session the day after the wedding? I don't know, like an hour or something. And sometimes they say yes, and we go crazy, so they change, and we do a few sessions, a few clicks the day after the wedding as well. If he didn't start shooting weddings this way, how did you make the transition without disappointing clients? He doesn't take a lot of expected shots. No, I do the expected shots as well, guys. Yeah, I do all the normal stuff. You can go to my website and there's a proof site, and you can see I do everything. I do the families, I do all the normal stuff. But I try to risk on the important moments just to do my own personal stuff. But yes, I don't want to make anybody unhappy. How I filter, it's through my blog post. On the first years as a wedding photographer, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I did everything. I did textures, and I did off-camera flash, and I did all this crazy stuff, and at the end I didn't like it. So yeah, like the first years are the hardest ones because you don't know what you're doing, and most of the time, yeah, you're gonna have a few disappointed clients for sure. That's gonna happen, and it's all an evolution for me. And thank God, everything's been great. And if I made error, I talk to the couples, and everything's been fixed, But yeah, it's all about being honest. I think that's the important thing. Okay. Which how do you market yourself? Sometimes I get features on some wedding blogs. Jukebox weddings. Also, Fearless Photographers has helped me book some destination weddings. Also, the ISP WP, and also the best market. It's making friends with other photographers and refer each other, so that way your agenda gets full pretty easily. Also, SEO, Google, and all that stuff. It has helped me a lot as well. Usually, I ask my couples how do they find me, and usually it's through another photographer or through Fearless or ISP. Or Facebook or referrals as well. How much do I charge? And it's wonderful to be able to limit them, but you must charge a lot then. Just curious. Well, right now I am at 5,500. That's my price for weddings inside Mexico. And for me, that's enough. And every year, I'm changing my pricing and I'm arranging things. But yeah, starting price, it's 5,500. I use Nikon and Sigma lenses. That's all I use. Yeah. Where did you get your inspiration from? I answered this one as well. Did you move the dress from another room? Slide 29. Let's see really quickly. What's the slide 29? 2, 3, 29. Slide 29. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I don't see the dress here. Sorry, if you can tell me which one it is, I can find it. Okay. How often do I have a second shooter? Not very often. Usually it's a friend that tells, "Hey, I want to shoot with you," and if I'm free and they can travel, we make it happen. But yeah, it's not very common. Next comment to the UK. Yes, I'm going to the UK in April. I'm doing a few workshops there in London, Birmingham, and some other place. But yeah, I'm going to the UK. I love that place. There's a strong sense of geometry. This one was answered already. Do you shoot much film? No, I shoot a few. Like I have shot three weddings, all film, and they're from friends. And I say, yeah, I shoot your wedding, but let me experiment, and I go crazy on film. But yeah, I'm not a master on film. I love shooting film, but yeah, yeah, I'm not an expert. Okay, by concept, usually are those images that you don't see a lot of emotion, or where the couples are like just far away, or like when you can see their faces as well. You know, a concept shot, it's more something more magical. Let me see if I can find something for you here. Okay, just so you can dig, understand a little bit more. Sorry for all this stuff. Yeah, guys, it's crazy to do webinars and fun. Woohoo! Okay, let me see if I find like a concept shot. Yeah, like a concept shot can be something like this. You know, that you don't see like the groom is flying and the bride's fixing her dress. You know, so it's not a beauty shot. You know, it was a planned shot that we are trying to work, you know, but it's not like a real wedding image. Okay, or let me see if I can find something else that's more like a concept. Okay, let me see one more, so you can really dig it. Or this can be a concept as well. You know, it's all about more the composition and the lines and the emotion is not there. It's only just a few funny, quirky things that they're doing together. Okay. Okay. 35, 85, and 50. The lenses I use. If you had an interview, I usually do a Skype meeting, and I try to to sell my stuff. Like I have a pricing website, so that way it's easier for them to understand me because my accent it's crazy. So, but most of the time I just want to learn how they are, who they are, and I don't want to make best friends for my couples, you know. They know how I work. They have seen my portfolio. So usually, if I have an interview, it's more about questions on their side. Like, hey, I say, what do you want to know, and that's it. But yeah, I'm not a judge. I don't say, oh, how did you meet, guys? Oh, that's no. I prefer to spend that time with my family, with my kids, and just having enough time. Yeah, I don't go and take a coffee shop with them, nothing like that. It's all business, and on their wedding day, I do everything for them. But beforehand, I'm a freaky bastard, and I'm super busy, so I cannot provide all my time for them. Okay? Were you on the hill? Yeah, when there's a little distortion, I really can live with that. Lightroom can help me out fixing my vertical lines, and sometimes I use it. But yeah, as I told you before, I'm not very technical. If there's something funky there, it's something funky, and I'm okay with it. So yeah, yeah. The only way to do it is using tilt shift lenses, but I'm okay. My favorite photo book, it's called The End by Rodney Smith, and I love this book. It's a freaking 16 by 20 book, 16 by 20 inches, and it's just gorgeous. Favorite lens so far, it's my 35, but I want to push myself to use more the 50 next year. 3 movies: City of God, Tree of Life, and Citizen Kane. What'd you say the couples during the photo sessions in terms of directing them? I usually make fun of them, or I'm just like, hey, oh, ah, ooh. I make jokes like that and funny faces. I say, look at my penis, so they laugh like bastards. And what else? Sometimes I say, okay, I speak sweet to them so they can give me more emotion. But yeah, right, this year for me was my happy year. So most of my couples were happy and having a great time. I don't know, maybe next year it's going to be my dark year and everybody was going to be just like emos or something. What's having a style? I think it's just being okay with your images. It's not about being trendy or being crazy. It's about being happy, seeing your portfolio and having a smile when you see it. That's, for me, that's having a style. Who are my favorite photographers? Rodney Smith. He's my top notch. Elliot Erwitt as well. And who else? And then Emmanuel Lubezki, but he's a cinematographer. Any off-camera light? Yeah, I'm not an expert at that. Yeah, I suck at off-camera stuff. JVS, he's a master of that. But yeah, I don't do a lot of off-camera tips, guys. Sorry, I suck at that. Okay, what happens is a couple is disappointed because I don't have a close-up of the keys. They know, because for me their wedding's an experiment, remember? And even in my contract, I have there's a phrase it's a creative vision, so they're willing to accept that I can shoot anywhere I want, and I'm going to risk everything to make awesome images for them. So if they're not happy with that, they're not going to book me. What am I going to do 30 years from now? That's an interesting question. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm still alive. I'm going to be 64. Maybe opening a gallery and try to go into that direction, into maybe not shooting a lot of weddings. I don't know. I think my retirement plans, it will be shooting more families and trying to sell, selling my images as pieces of art and doing galleries like that. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be still shooting weddings at 64. Am I still nervous before a wedding? Yes, every single time I'm almost about to throw up. And if I lose that, yeah, I will just stop shooting weddings. How did you get those colors in these pictures? I use actions and presets from Red Leaf Boutique. If you don't know those guys, these are the guys, Red Leaf Boutique. You can see them here. These are the company that I use for my colors. They're great. Okay. How long do you require to create a session? Usually top an hour and a half. I don't want to spend a lot of time. I want to work fast and I want them to say, "Hey, we're done already? Yeah, woo, awesome." Yeah, I don't like to go crazy. Love your work. How do you get the grooms free and spontaneous? I just make them laugh. As I told you before, I'm a freaking clown. I'm a monkey, and I touch them a lot. I hug them. I kiss them. You know, it's all about not being that serious for me. You know, a wedding has a lot of pressures, and I don't want to be the photography to be one more pressure added. Post-wedding workflow. Okay, I import everything into Photo Mechanic. I select them, import into Lightroom, play with my files, and then do a batch process with Redleaf actions in Photoshop. And that's it. I upload everything to, I use sound slides to create slideshows, and that's it. Yeah. Okay. I imagine the usual many requests for the budget here. How do you select customers? Well, I think they choose me. You know, I don't choose them. I tell every couple the same information that I tell everybody. I send them my website with all my pricing information, and that's it. But yeah, usually it's the wedding is an experiment. It's the way that they get to me, you know. But I don't want to shoot more than 25 weddings per year. So right now I have 14, and no, yeah, 14, and I'm happy with that for next year. And I don't know. Hopefully I get a few more. This year I shot 23, and it was an awesome year. Technical question: what did you mean by not minding on the white balance while shooting? Okay, since I'm shooting in black and white, and my LCD is in black and white, I don't care about colors. I cannot see colors, so my white balance is always in auto white balance, and that way I don't see my colors until I import into Lightroom. Okay, that's why I don't care about my white balance, Carla. Hello from Montenegro. Can I see the question? Shoot. Oh, come on. Okay, you are. Oh, thank you, Alexander. Thank you, my friend. Okay, when I shoot a Indian wedding with over 600 people, do you do things differently? I have only shot 3 Indian weddings. In one I was by myself, and in the other one a second shooter came from Costa Rica, Ale Sura, with me, and it was we had a great time. And no, I do the same times. Well, there's more family portraits there, for sure, but that's it. I do the same stuff, guys. Focusing points. I usually work with the center one, so I focus and recompose, and that's how I do it. And I use the back button focus, back button to focus. Okay. How do you choose black and white and color in certain photographs? Dame un segundito. Gracias, Mari. Bonito día. Sorry, guys. My lady's going. So usually black and white for emotional images, because all the colors are gonna distract from the main action, or by gut. It depends. And if I feel it in black and white, I choose black and white. With receptions, do you handle low light situation, flash? Can create. Yeah, in receptions I go crazy since I have 2 cameras. Sometimes I I use bounce flash, and sometimes I use direct flash, and with the other camera I have high ISOs, and I just go 6400 ISO or 12,000, and I don't care. So receptions, it's a mix of everything, just to have different vibes and different emotions and different feelings. Sorry. Lightroom, as I answered this one. Yeah, usually personal projects, I don't choose them; they choose me, and it's not a long personal project. Something that I love, I see, and I get close, and I start shooting it for an hour or two, and that's it. What's in your gear bag? My two cameras, my 3 lenses, 2 flashes just in case, small LED light, tons of CF cards, chocolates, pecans, and that's it. My iPhone ready. But yeah, I don't have a big bag. I like to travel pretty light. Yeah. To direct them on the right mood. Well, okay. I think this is the opposite. I usually see how they are feeling, and we start from there. You know, it's if they're laughing like crazy, I'm not gonna say, okay, just stop laughing, act more natural, and just be serious. No, if they're laughing like crazy, I'm gonna go in that direction. You know, but usually on a session, I try to have like from the serious and sweet to the laughing like crazy. I wanna try to cover all the emotions, so I can have a lot of options while I'm editing. Okay. How do you do my printing job? Well, for printing, for albums, I use Red Tree albums, and yes, I do my own album design. I don't go crazy with that. It's super simple. How do I play with the emotions? I just talk to them. It's not that hard, guys. If we get close to them, and if we talk with them as persons, as friends, they're gonna react. But if we shout at them like freaking movie directors or like professional photographers, they're gonna be awkward, and they're not gonna enjoy our presentation or our vibe. It's all about what you transmit while you're shooting. Tell us that you talk a lot to couples. Do you prepare? No, it's usually when they meet me, they know that I am laughing like crazy. I don't prepare them for nothing. They say, "Hey, how are you doing, Fer?" And we go from there. I don't tell them in advance what we're gonna do. Everything's a freaking experience for them, and I just enjoy seeing their laughs and their surprises. Do you employ action sets to post-process your images? If so, I hate that I cannot see my questions. What the fuck? What can I see? Simon, I'm not being able to see your question, brother. Oh, okay. Post pre-design Photoshop settings. Yeah, well, for me, as I told you, the guys from Redleaf, they really nailed the look, and it's not very obvious. So working with those presets and those actions, it has make my work look more satisfying for me, and I really enjoy playing with actions and presets. For me, the post-processing part, it's very fun and enjoyable because I'm always changing and mixing it a little bit. So I don't know. Time will tell if I'm wrong, but I just love playing with different post-processing techniques. They're talking about grain in Spanish, and I don't care about grain. If there's grain, I'm going to add more grain to my images, and I'm going to just embrace grain. Start reaching. Well, how do I reach the destination brides? In Mexico, it's easy because there's a lot of a market here. We have a lot of places that people get married here. So it's all about making connections and making friends in that area, and after that, and having a strong portfolio as well. And it's just being able to travel and risking the time that you have to spend with your family. Sometimes you have to be traveling, and that's the hard part. But yeah, how to reach them? At the beginning, I was doing slideshows the same day of the wedding, and then advertising on wedding directories as well, or like Fearless and ISP. Those works like magic for me. A style crisis. Yes, it's always like that, Submarino. The style crisis, it's always there. You never know if what you're doing it's personal, or if you have seen it in another place and it's only working and flowing through you. So yeah, that shit happens a lot. So it's all about following your gut, I think, and hoping that's going to work for you. But yeah, you never know if what you're doing it's unique, or it's something that you have seen before. Or if you have seen before, at least hopefully it's not inside the wedding industry, right? But yeah, the subconscious and the conscious and all that stuff works crazy. You get an agent to manage your inquiries? No, I do everything by myself, Antonio. I am a one-man army, and so far I'm happy doing it like that. Do you outsource something? Invoices, I do it by myself. There's an application that's called BlinkSale that I use, and it's awesome. Post-processing, so far I haven't. I started to work with a company in Australia that I'm trying to see if we're able to work together. I'm still gonna be editing my blog post, and they're gonna do the rest. But yeah, I'm thinking about outsourcing post-production for next year. How much time do you work on a wedding? Usually for me, weddings are around from 10 to 14 hours. Sometimes even longer, like 17 hours. But yeah, it's in my contract it says 10, but sometimes I go crazy because things are going awesome. My worst experience in a wedding. One day we went to the cemetery. The bride went there to say goodbye to his parents, to her father, sorry, because he was already dead. And I was shooting that stuff, and it was beautiful. And then I went to the reception, and I was about to do the slideshow for them. And I was downloading that card, and it got corrupted. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm screwed. But thank God, all the softwares in the world, I recovered the files, and everything was there. But yeah, that has been one of my worst experiences. I was sweating like a pig. It was awful. No videos. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do videos. There's a lot of guys like Real Love and Funky Cinema and Media Morphosis out there here in Mexico that they do awesome jobs. So yeah, I'm not gonna do videos. Hey, hey, hello in hey. Um, Thank you, Ricardo. Uh, 10 hours, as I told you before. How do you dress for weddings? For beach weddings, usually like khakis, and most of the time I go barefoot. It's awesome to work on barefoot or Toms or something simple. And for more formal weddings, I usually wear like a sport jacket and some pants that are like flexible and just like tennis, comfortable tennis that I can be on my feet for 14 hours. I answered that question before. Did you give a lot of value treatment of images? I don't understand this question, guys. Sorry, Matheus. I don't understand it. When you came to Brazil to drink some beer? For sure, my friend. Anytime. How do you come out of your safe mode? Well, it's a step by step, Patricia. Petrica, sorry, Petrica. You have to start risking one picture at a time. That's the main goal. One picture at a time, and you can do magic by the years. Yes, I use my 35 and my 85, and then I have a 50 as a backup. How do you co-op? Yeah, with videographers, most of the time I don't have problems because I usually if they book me, if the couple book me, they're gonna book a cool videographer as well. So it's a team effort, and sometimes yeah they have booked crazy videographers that they don't do weddings. They usually do like commercial stuff, and they feel like a diva on the wedding day. And yeah, one wedding this year I shot. They were 8 videographers. Yeah, and it was a pain in the ass, and they were very cocky. So yeah, I had to use my 85 more than my 35 because there were cameras all around me. Do you give a lot of value of treatments? Sorry, I don't understand this question, my friend. I answered this one, red leaf, Lightroom, and then a batch process in Photoshop, Marcela. Post-processing, it's important, but not that important. It's only the final touch. But I really love right now, I love in the matte finish of my images, and every year I try to find a different technique to give more emotion or more colors out of my images. Social networks for promotions. So far, I haven't paid Facebook to promote me, but yeah, I have my fan page or my business page there, and I use it, but I don't pay for people to get there so far. No, I don't use tilt shift. In a few images, I have used a software to use it, but I don't use tilt shift lens. How long do I take to edit a wedding? If I have enough time and I'm concentrated, in 2 days I have the weddings ready. Tips for directing couples: just be you, and don't be a photographer. Be a friend with a camera. I answered this one already. What time do I really love my work? It's hard. Most of the time after I finish, I vlog and I'm super happy with it, and I see it like a week after and I hated it. So yeah, I'm never satisfied with my work. I'm never like, yes, I'm a master. It's not like that. I always feel unsatisfied. I always feel that I could do a little bit better. If I move one step in this direction, if I move a little bit in this direction, I will be much better. But yeah, I'm never happy with it. Sometimes I'm yes, and then boo. Thank you, Leo. Not that much. Today's tops. Do you do any accompany in your weddings? Yeah, usually they're friends that we have a good time together shooting, and they're awesome. Mm, okay. No, well, I'm trying to do one style only, but yeah, my portfolio I have to renew it because I haven't moved images there. But yeah, I'm trying to get to the matte look at last. Yeah, yeah, the Aguilar, Danny's Danny. I'm never gonna be Danny. He's a freaking beast. He's an awesome shooter. He has an awesome colors, and I prefer the more pastel look of the images. Use awkward things in the decoration. Yeah, weddings is not about decorations. Weddings it's about people and about emotions. So fuck the decorations. I have just so you know, Arthur, I have blocked all the every single wedding I have shot. I have blocked it. I have never say, oh, I'm not gonna block this because this of that. I have blocked every single wedding I have shot. I did this already. Do you sell a lot of your wedding images? No, usually I sell them only the digital negatives, and they can print if they want. But usually it's only an album and the files. How much do you make additional profit, and what do you sell with that? It's same as last time. I sell negatives and I sell albums, and I have they can buy prints as well, but I don't sell that much. I'm not a good seller. I don't push them in that direction. Oh wow. I don't think I tell the whole story. For me, really, I see weddings. I prefer seeing trailers than full movies. So for me, those 20 images are more like the trailer of the wedding. I see my images are more like a dream instead of step number one, step number two, step number three. Okay, so yeah, for me, telling the story in 20 images are representative moments that can make you feel, but they don't have to be like the ring or the kiss or the anything. They can be anything else. But yeah, it's 20 personal images. Being a clown, being a clown. Do you do things differently? I don't do this question. Tune over time, I tell them 4 to 8 weeks. That's what I tell them, and everybody's being okay with that. Mm, no, the only things that I move it's during the portraits. Everything else, I don't do anything. I don't move the dress. I don't do anything else. A few years ago, I was the expert at that. I was moving every single thing, and I moved it. And now I went to a workshop that's called Foundation Workshop, and I've tried to leave everything like it is. You know, if they ask me, hey, where should I put the dress? I say, okay, let's try to put it near the bride or something like that. But I'm not gonna tell them put it here because here is the best place to do it. No, right now I try to be 90% of my time just a fly on the wall, and the rest I'm gonna direct it on the portraits. Okay. How do I define my own style? For me, it will be uh, uh, like cinematic and out of context. That will it be. That's sometimes not wedding related, and cinematic. It's like try to grab a steal from an image from a movie, and that my images represent that. Thank you, Mathix. Can you explain how you shoot the fill versus look photo? Yeah, this was a big LED light on the back of the bride, and I just exposed for the light and then recovered a little bit of light. Sorry, and I recovered a little bit of light on her face. Okay, so you have to send 20 images to mywed.ru, and you can win beautiful prizes. I think you have to go there, guys. Okay, and there's gonna be a contest. Awesome. Can you show quickly your presentation once again? Oh, sorry, Ava, we're almost finishing this. Sorry about that. Hopefully someone recorded or something and you can see it later. Plugins, we talk about that. Oh no, for that, Suso, like my lenses, yeah, you can have 10,000 lenses with you, but for me, it's just having enough to play, and the rest, I really don't care. Favorite music, I like singing songwriters. I love John Mayer. I love Dave Matthews Band. I love jazz. I love blues. That kind of stuff. But yeah, sometimes you need a wider angle, and sometimes, but for that sometimes I'm not gonna break my back. I'm just gonna carry 2 lenses and 2 cameras. The Sigma, I tried it and I loved it. I had the f2 before, and it was okay, but then I tried the Sigma and I loved it. But I haven't tried the Nikkor. A friend of mine has it, but I think it's a little bit slower on the focusing speed. But I know that the Sigma is not waterproof or weatherproof, so I don't know. So far, the Sigma has worked great. Okay, did we talk about that before? Argentina, saludos. You mainly use. Yes, I mainly use Lightroom, and I use Photoshop with only batch process using red leaf actions. Lightning receptions, I go crazy. I'm a monkey with that. I do everything, but I rarely use soft camera. So far, Madeline, it's been 3 years that I have beautiful clients. Everybody's been happy. A few in the past, yeah, they weren't happy, and stuff like that's always going to happen. In the creative industry, we're selling a promise, and it's hard to please everybody. But right now, I have a good streak, so hopefully it's going to be like that. Most of the time, Marcel, I shoot in Mexico and sometimes outside Mexico, but it's rare. And it's been by luck, getting the destination weddings and trying to work with this sale for your website as well, and referrals as well. The most awesome place right now, it's been New Zealand. 3 years ago, Mary and Sam wedding, and they're still good friends, and hopefully I'm gonna get back, hopefully next year. No, right now, Bruno, I'm using auto white balance. A few years ago, I was using shade, but now it's auto white balance for me. if we had more time, I can definitely do this. And I'm working on my laptop here because my main computer doesn't have a webcam. So sorry about this, Dima. But just send me an email and I can show you before and after of one image. Okay? Do you have any must-have shots? No, I just go crazy. Sansa, brother. It's here. It's gonna be coming soon.